Not too far away from this event kicking off here tonight, Natasha, and the former president with a pair of campaign stops today before his expected court date on Tuesday. And as you can imagine, Natasha, as we all expected, he has not been holding back. A historic indictment handed down by a grand jury in Florida is not keeping former President Trump away from the campaign trail. 2 stops today in the Sun Belt. Georgia in the afternoon, then the North Carolina GOP convention in Greensboro tonight. In Georgia, the 45th president came out swinging against the Department of Justice.
The ridiculous and baseless indictment of me by the Biden administration's weaponized Department of Injustice will go down as among the most horrific abuses of power. Biden is trying to jail his leading political opponent.
Mr. Trump, not the only one setting foot in the Tar Heel state this weekend, with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, the keynote speaker Friday night at the North Carolina GOP convention, and former Vice President Mike Pence rounding out the event at a lunch earlier today. Both competing for the same job as the former president, but both sharing his condemnation of the indictment.
I think there needs to be one standard of justice in this country. Let's enforce it on everybody and make sure we all know the rules. You can't have one faction of society weaponizing the power of the state against factions that it doesn't like.
I'm deeply troubled to see this indictment move forward. It's important to remember in America, you are innocent until proven guilty.
Elsewhere on the trail, not everyone shares the same sentiment. Former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson singing a different tune in Georgia.
He's going to have to answer to those charges. I've handled classified information. I understand the rules and the requirements, and we hold everybody accountable under the law, so we'll see where this develops factually.
A statement from Hutchinson calls for the former president to, quote, end his campaign to not distract from the GOP primary race. But Mr. Trump has no plans of that at this point. His remarks in North Carolina will be his last campaign stop before he's expected to appear in federal court Tuesday. The 45th president sitting in a strong position in the key Super Tuesday state, leading the Republican field by more than 20 points. Governor DeSantis solidly in second, and former Vice President Mike Pence back in fourth behind former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. But it will take more than GOP support to carry the state in the general, with registered Democrats outnumbering Republicans. A plurality of North Carolina voters are registered with a third party or are unaffiliated.
I don't think anyone has a chance against Trump, and he has done what he said he would do, and we can depend on him.
Some voters, like Barbara Cave, are standing firmly with the 45th president. Others, like Michelle Woodhouse, more open-minded.
I want someone at the top of that ballot that can win not only the Republicans, but conservative unaffiliated and disenfranchised Democrats, because we need all of them to come to the table to win.
And I have to tell you, Natasha, talking to voters on the ground here, no real impact that indictment is having on their support for the former president. They say, for the most part, if they were with him before, they're with him now. Their number one focus is taking back the White House at all costs. Natasha.
Okay, Robert Sherman at that convention in North Carolina, and we'll go back to you as soon as that speech begins. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.